Hi everyone, welcome to my model discussion video forecast. This is Lester Rhodes, lead forecaster from the Absolute Vorticity Weather Forum. It's December the 5th, 2017, and let's get right to the forecast here. So our top weather stories for tonight's video are cold air. Winter is definitely here, folks, and we have some snow chances to discuss as well. A clipper coming this Saturday, another one for Tuesday of next week, and there's even more action beyond this, but then you're getting into model fantasy land, so we're just going to cover the next couple of systems here that are coming within the next 7 days. And long range, any big dogs? Any bigger winter storms out there, something that might, produce 4 to 6 inches or something halfway decent instead of your normal clipper 1 to 2 inch type snows? Well, maybe. We'll see. All right, let's get right to it. First of all, here's the 24-hour temperature change valid as of 5 o'clock Eastern Time this afternoon. And let me get my pen pulled up here. All right, you can see anywhere from 15 degrees colder at this time versus yesterday in Columbus, closer to 20 for Cincinnati, 25 Indy, and even as much as 30 degrees colder up by Chicago. And it's that type of air mass that is headed in our direction behind the cold front that came through earlier today. Tomorrow will also be a breezy day, and we're going to have temps in the 40s, which is certainly much colder than the 50s that we had this morning and the 60s, of yesterday. So quite a change to the system. All right, here is the Saturday clipper. Now this is valid as of 12Z Saturday. That's Saturday morning here, and this is the new 18Z this afternoon run of the GFS Global Forecast System. And this map is showing 500 millibar vorticity, or energy, in the atmosphere. These red, orange, and yellow colors are energy or vorticity in the atmosphere. And what this map is showing us is the energy for our clipper diving through southern Wisconsin and Illinois, rounding, dropping from northwest to southeast through the trough. So the trough kind of goes like this, as you can tell by the isobars. You got a big ridge of high pressure here over the west, a very amplified pattern. This is a piece of the polar vortex up here where I've drawn the red X over Hudson's Bay. And that's our clipper energy for Saturday morning. Fast forward in time to Saturday early afternoon. You can still see it diving into the Ohio Valley, producing snow for the region. And here is Saturday evening rather, which is 0Z Sunday in the model world, but it is Saturday evening to us here on Earth. And that's the trough now pulling away in regards to the energy to the clipper. She's finally starting to lift out. Now here's the European model, and you can still see virtually the same thing. It might be just a tinge faster, as it has it a little further south towards St. Louis and western Illinois than the GFS, so it might just be a hair faster. But it's the same basic idea on the European. Saturday afternoon, getting a little bit stronger over southern Indiana, just a little bit. And the energy moving off by Saturday evening. So both the GFS and the European models both pretty much show 1 to 2 inches for the area. There is the potential for a little bit more. If earlier runs of the GFS were correct, it was actually phasing the clipper energy with a piece of the polar vortex up here. So a piece of energy came off of this guy and phased with this guy. But I have not seen that on the GFS in several runs now. So we'll see. Maybe that can still happen. We still are several days away from Saturday, but a general 1 to 2 inches certainly looks to be a great call at this point from both the European and GFS models. So let's go to Tuesday. That's the next clipper. And here's the GFS for Tuesday afternoon. You can definitely see the energy coming in A little bit further west this time versus the Saturday Clipper, as you can see. So that might bode well for a stronger Clipper. And let's see here if this is going to fast forward. Well, I think I might have fast forwarded too quickly there. I apologize for that. Well, no, I had the same image in there. Well, I forgot and did not copy Tuesday evening in here. But let's see. Here's the European for Tuesday morning. Okay, or Tuesday afternoon, I'm sorry. And here's the European for Tuesday evening. At least I got the European right. All right. But as you can see, the energy is a little bit stronger on this run. Diving a little further southeast. Here is a piece of the polar vortex here. And I was hoping that this would phase with this. You can see a little interaction here. Not a lot, but it is a little bit stronger of a system. This could put down 1 to 2, maybe isolated 3-inch amounts. We'll see if this works out. And here is Tuesday night. And you can see that eventually the two pieces of energy do phase and create a snowstorm for New England. But it's too late for us. But still, we have two clippers coming, 1 to 2, 1 to 2. That's 2 to 4 inches on the ground by this time next week. So we averaged 4.8 inches for December. That's pretty good, getting 3/4 of that out of two systems. Not too shabby, folks. I'm pretty pleased with that. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, how come we haven't had any big systems yet? Well, let's take a look at it. Here is the brand new 18Z GFS Ensemble. And this is an average of all of the ensemble members kind of smoothed into an average. And we can still see the big ridge up into Alaska and the big trough over the eastern U.S. And we have a little bit of Greenland blocking here. Let me change colors here. That way you guys can see that a little easier. Okay, here's the Greenland blocking and the big PNA ridge with the negative Eastern Pacific oscillation with the ridging extending up into Alaska. And we have a pretty nice Aleutian low. This pattern is really typical of an El Nino and not a La Nina, which is this winter. So it's kind of interesting to see that. So this is valid as of Friday afternoon, just to give you an idea of our current pattern that we're heading into. This is before the Clipper. Now if we fast forward to after the Clipper, quite a ways. This is day 11, day 12. You can start to see some ridging that has pushed up from the Caribbean as the deep trough relaxes a little bit. You can kind of see it lifting out a little bit here. The polar vortex was down in here. Now it's kind of lifting out in here to about Hudson's Bay. The NAO has remained more neutral, not as much ridging here. The ridge that was here over the west coast has retrograded to the west a little bit, as you can see, more in the eastern Pacific and Gulf of Alaska, and the Aleutian low is not as well as defined. So this is kind of a pattern reload phase. A little bit of a southeast ridge showing up here. But you've got to have that if you want a big storm. With these first two clippers that are coming up, the Gulf is shut down. We're not getting any Gulf moisture into these systems. But with the weak southeast ridge, you will. Now I know we're playing with fire because you guys know that the southeast ridge can certainly get too strong and give us rain instead of snow. It happens every year. But you got to have a little element of it. You got to have a little bit of it here, or the big snow isn't going to happen. All right, here's the European Ensemble this afternoon, and you can virtually see pretty much the same thing. Here's Friday, or I apologize, day 10, excuse me. The deep trough, you can see with the purple color there, is now lifting out through the northeast and southeast Canada area. This is just a North Atlantic or a thumb ridge. The NAO is pretty much neutral here. It's not really a negative NAO at all. definitely still have the strong PNA ridge and negative EPO for sure. That still looks good, and here's your deep elution low up here. So that's fine, but the trough is starting to lift out by day 10. This is after mid-month. And now look, by the 19th, after mid-month, more ridging down here. This is pretty much what the GFS was showing. You can see hints of that southeast ridge again. That's a pretty good signal from an ensemble member that has 51, an ensemble average rather, that has 51 members. The EPS, the Euro Ensemble mean that we're looking at, it's an average of 51 models, individual members. So that is a pretty good signal for a southeast ridge coming. But it's not going to be a monster southeast ridge where we torch in the 60s and 70s. We still have a pretty good positive PNA. We're not going to torch as long as the PNA ridge stays put. We're not going to torch. This is going to certainly help us, though, with getting the subtropical jet and the polar jet active. And if those of you that peeked into the GFS in the long range the last couple days, especially the 18Z tonight, you've noticed that we're starting to see the hint of a bigger system with rain or snow possible for the area. And this is after mid-month, once we start to get that southeast ridge a little bit. So we certainly have some active times ahead, wintry, cold, and interesting times ahead as well. Definitely stay tuned to AbsoluteVorticity.com, and it's free to join. Please invite any family or friends that you know of that are not on the forum. Have them log in. Have them get on. If anybody has trouble signing up, let me know. All right, I just want to thank everybody for watching my model discussion video forecast this evening. And we're going to continue to watch the models every single day, and we're going to do the best we can to get the forecasts right for you. Thanks for watching. Good night.